When it comes to financing your solar system, clearly the most popular and most economic method is a simple cash purchase. For this, you need to be able to afford a high one-time investment, but once you did that, you're done and you enjoy the cheap electricity produced by the system for the rest of its lifetime. Financing a PV system with a loan is another option. That can make sense in specific circumstances, but as with every loan, this comes with the usual risks and you will have to pay interest on the money borrowed that will shrink your savings. There's also the option of leasing, where you pay monthly rent for the panels. That model was more popular in the US when solar systems were still much more expensive than they are today. Nowadays, and especially in Cyprus, this method is not really used much. And lastly, there are also power purchase agreements, PPAs. Under a PPA, you do not pay for the solar system upfront. The PV system is put onto your roof, but is owned not by you, but by a company. You basically give your roof for a company to install a solar system on it, on their own cost, and you enter into a contract with them that you buy electricity produced by the system for a reduced price compared to what you would pay if you took the normal electricity from the grid. In most of these arrangements, you have the option to buy the system from the company after 5 years if you choose to do so. There are installers that offer these arrangements in Cyprus with different terms. Oftentimes these contracts offer the electricity 20% cheaper than from the electricity company, and they give you the option to buy the system with a 25% discount from offer price after 5 years. When you first hear this, it might sound like a great idea. You pay nothing and get the electricity 20% cheaper than before. And yes, it might make sense for some people to get in such an arrangement, in case they cannot just afford to buy a system on their own and want some reduction of the electricity cost right away. But there are also downsides to this. In the end, this arrangement can be understood as an 80-20 split, where you give your roof space for someone else to put a solar system on it and become their customer. They get 80% of the value produced for providing the system, and you get 20% of the value produced as savings on your electricity bill. If you go for a solution like that, you have to be careful about the contract you sign, because historically some of these contracts state that you pay for the electricity produced by the system, not the electricity consumed by you. This is a point you need to watch out for. Else, in the worst case, if the system is too large or you are away from home for an extended period, you could end up having to pay for power produced that you didn't fully consume. So to prevent that from happening under these PPA constellations, it might make sense to go for a smaller system than you would otherwise, which in turn might lead to reduced savings. Another point to note is that in such arrangements, the prices for the PV systems are often on the high side, so that even if you buy the system from the company with a discount after 5 years, you still pay a high price for it. So in the end, a cash purchase clearly is the best option if possible. It is easily understood and the most economic way. But other options do exist.